The O's are fine. What a game. The Baltimore Orioles once again come back to beat the Houston Astros. Jackson Holliday, bases loaded magic today had it all. What's up, everyone? And welcome to Kevin and Zach React. Kevin did the post-game Ravens show a few hours ago. He was by himself for that one, and now we traded spots. I think I'm going to be by myself for this one. Actually, I'm going to text Kevin to make sure of that. So while we wait for to see if Kevin's actually coming on, how we feeling? 1 to 10 in the comment section. How high are vibes for you guys? Because I can't lie. Today felt like one of those days where once again the Orioles fall down 2-0. You were sitting there and you're like, yesterday we couldn't have yesterday's game be all for naught. If they went out there and lost today, it just felt like everything that happened yesterday, all the inspiration we felt, the fire we felt it lit under this team would have been gone. It would have been back to the drawing board, and tomorrow becomes a must win. But instead, Jackson Holliday, who was 0 for his last 20, pinch hit. I know people want to give Hyde hate. People want to say, oh, Hyde doesn't know when to do things. Hyde knows when to get a damn pinch hitter. More often than not, Hyde makes the right move for pinch hitting. Proved it once again today. Puts in a guy for 0 for his last 20. Holliday, ice in the veins to take the lead. But we don't even see Jackson Holliday in that situation if it isn't for Colton Cowser. Colton Cowser beating out the routine ground ball to first, head first slide, fires up the whole crowd, the whole dugout. This team has their fire back. You can feel it. Last night, Tony did something. It feels like we talked about it last night. We said if they can string something together, this could be the moment that we look back on and say that was the changing point for the Orioles. And it feels like today and last night have been two moments that we're going to look back on, hopefully, at the end of October. And it's like that's the moment that things changed because it had been going all wrong. It felt like, especially after the Mets series, you sat there getting walked off twice in New York. You felt like this series was you had to at least split. And then you go out there, a rookie versus Corbin Burns night one, you lose. All of a sudden, you had to find a win. Last night, Cade Povich versus Hunter Brown, you're like, I don't know if we can get this. Then you have Big Albert Suarez versus Framber Valdez. You're like, what? You don't feel awesome about either of those matchups. To win, not only win both, but in the fashion that they did, coming back. We talked about last year. What did last year's team had that we felt this year's team lacked? It was that ability to never feel out of a baseball game. It didn't matter if it was down 10 in the fourth or down 1 in the ninth. This team never felt out of a baseball game. It felt like at any moment, this team could blow it open and win a game. At any moment. And once again, Orioles win today without a home run. Obviously, yesterday we talked about living and dying by the long ball. They lived by it last night. The grand slam was the cherry on top to put that game away and come back. But today, it was the hustle plays. It was the singles. It was Colton Cowser beating the first baseman and Singleton to first base. It was Jackson Holliday. Let's also talk about Colton Cowser. Not only does he beat the ball to first, he then goes on a ball cut off in the gap, goes first to home. That's the energy that this team needs. This team needs this, whatever is going right now, they need to just put it together and just go because it doesn't get easier. You have Houston tomorrow to end the 4-game streak. then 4-game series. Then we're going out to LA. Out to LA to play the Dodgers. It doesn't get easy there. It's not going to be easy. You hope that you can win 2. You're praying you can win 2 there. So this is a team that needs momentum. We talk about it every single day here. We talk about it on the Ryan Ripken Show. We talk about it on Kevin and Zach Reacts, which, by the way, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. We go live after every single Orioles and Ravens game. Kevin was live earlier today to break down the Ravens' final preseason game, and he may be joining me here shortly. So this is, we always talk about, the only thing that matters in baseball is who gets hot at the right time. Throw out the records throughout the year. We talk about the Texas Rangers had a losing record on the road last year in the regular season. They went 11-0 on the road in the postseason to win the World Series. The Diamondbacks and Rangers, who met in the World Series last year, both were out of a playoff spot a week before the playoffs started. It's all about who gets hot at the right time. And if the Orioles get hot, they have as good a chance as anyone in the league. Yeah. And Calvin saying, Zach, do you remember? Yes. So if you don't know, over on the Ryan Ripken Show, we had Jim Duquette on a few weeks ago, who was the Mets general manager, was in the front office of the Orioles. And he talked about, I believe it was 2015, 2016, the Orioles had a deal kind of back and forth with the Astros for Zach Britton. And one of the pieces that would have gone to Baltimore was, he said the one name he could remember was Framber Valdez. It was the young Framber Valdez. So don't know if he still would have developed the same, but yes, that is, he did talk about that. Moving on kind of past the holiday hit, past the vibes, because I know we could talk about how great the vibes are all day, but let's dig a little bit deeper. Albert Suarez. Yes, for Zach Britton. Albert Suarez, once again, talk about a dude who just battles his ass off. It's not always going to be pretty. He's not always going to have the sexy stat line. Gives up 2 solo shots today, but my God, he just gets it done. 5 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Listen, as of right now, I think Zach Eflin obviously returns. Like, Albert Suarez has to be pitching in the playoffs. And, you know, we want to talk about what happens in the playoffs, getting hot for the playoffs. If you get Eflin and Grayson back, let's go best case scenario, you get Eflin and Grayson back. Burns, Eflin, Grayson, and Suarez pitching games 1 through 4. I like your chances of winning 3 of those. I like your chances of winning 3 of those. So this Albert Suarez, talk about an unsung hero. I see it in the comment, John saying Big Al unsung hero. He has been. Where would this team be without Albert Suarez? This is a guy, let's not forget, this was a guy that before the season, no one had even remembered we had picked him up. Like, he was not on anyone's radar. He got called up. They said they were starting Albert Suarez in just a pinch start. They were seeing what he could do on last second. And since then, he came out, and immediately from his first start, you're like, okay, this guy's got some juice, but maybe, it could just be not a lot of film on him. He hasn't pitched in the league since 2017. What really could it be? No way this guy's can do this every week, every 5 days. And he's done nothing. You had that weird stretch where he was struggling some. He's been in and out of the bullpen. I mean, we want to talk about a guy. He was borderline closing for a little bit in June. He was out in situations in the 10th inning of 1-run games. We were bringing in Albert Suarez, and he was getting out of it. I mean, talk about a Swiss Army knife, a guy who it doesn't matter what role, what position, what inning, situation, anything. You tell Big Al, hey, we need you to go get out. He's going to go do it. He's going to find a way to do it. And it's hard not to have confidence in it. It's hard not to have confidence in Albert Suarez in any role. And yes, Kieran, I do want to say, the Yankees lose. The Yankees kind of got ran by the Rockies today. I think they lost 9-2 was the final score. So Orioles, all of a sudden, the O's are, what is it officially? We're back to a half game out. Half game out. So we'll see what's going on there. Past Albert Suarez, Keegan Aiken. Keegan Aiken, man. Recently, Keegan Aiken has been a dog for this squad. You want to talk about a man who you can throw in and feel comfortable in any situation right now? Keegan Aiken's up there with anyone. Yennier Cano comes in. He's looking like he's gotten his swagger back. He went through a little bit of a rough spot, but past, I'd say, 8 appearances for Cano, he feels like he's back to being the Yennier Cano of early last year even. And then closer, Sir Anthony Dominguez. Are we back? Closer, are we back on the closer, Sir Anthony Dominguez? I mean, I never left the train. You know, I love everything that Sir Anthony brings. Just his metrics and everything. He's a strikeout pitcher. He can get swings and misses. I think he got ambushed on a 3-0 pitch, and then Jesse Winker on the other time went and got a beautiful pitch. So I'm not upset with how New York went for Dominguez, even though he took 2 losses. Yeah, exactly. Those homers he gave up weren't bad pitches. It wasn't like he was throwing meatballs and they just got cranked out of the stadium. He got ambushed on a 3-0, and then Jesse Winker makes a play, and you just got to tip your hat. So Sir Anthony, I absolutely love it. I love him in the closer role right now. I love that they're just giving him that role. We actually talked about on the Ryan Ripken show. Me and Ryan interviewed Jonathan Papelbon, who won the World Series with the Red Sox, also pitched for the Phillies for a while in a few World Series. Talk to him about just the sport this year as a whole. And he said something about no team wins the World Series with closer by committee. No team's ever won the World Series closer by committee. You need to have that guy who knows he is going for the final 3 outs every single time. So if Sir Anthony can just take that role, then boom, that's all we need. If Sir Anthony is comfortable with taking that role and he's got the confidence, just go for it, and he can go get outs in the biggest moments, because it's all mental. Jonathan Papelbon also talks about that. Some guys have all the talent in the world. They can get guys out left and right with their eyes closed, innings 1 through 8, but when the pressure of the game is on, they can't do it. So if Sir Anthony can do that and get comfortable, that's exactly where they need this rotation and this bullpen. Because then you can start lining up Cano's 8, Sir Anthony's 9, Cianel, Danny Coulomb hopefully coming back, Keegan Aiken. You start building this bullpen, and suddenly the bullpen's not looking. If you get Coulomb and Jacob Webb back, this bullpen's looking a whole lot better. This bullpen's looking a whole lot better. And she says, to the cap to UOs, it's been a depressing last 2 days for us. Hey, no Tucker, no Jordan. Yeah. Hey, we say it here on the Ryan Ripken Show and Kevin and Zach React all the time. We think the team to beat in the AL right now is the Astros. They're playing the best ball. They know how to win. So, yeah, it's been a rough 2 days for the Astros blowing the lead, but I do not. I think this is just the beginning. They're still going to be the team to beat in the AL, and I think it still runs through Houston. So let's move a little bit on offensively. Adley Rutschman, 2 for 3. If Adley can get the swing going again, a single and a double, talk about a guy we talk about all the time. This team lives and goes with Adley Rutschman. When Adley you want to look at how poorly the O's have played in their last 60, 70 games, it coincides with Adley Rutschman going from a 300, he was batting like 306 at one point, to going all the way down to what is he at right now? 265. So when Adley is struggling, this team offensively just struggles, because Adley's a guy who he goes out there, whether he gets on or not, he's causing 7, 8, 9 pitch at bats frequently. He's not an easy out. He's going to work walks. He's not going to give easy free passes. We always love it or hate it. He doesn't swing at the first pitch. Recently, you felt like he was pressing, and that was the base issue with him. So for that reason, it started to fall off, and you felt like the offense as a whole was kind of struggling with him. But when Adley is on and Adley can get his swing back, which over the past 10 games, it's starting to really look like he's starting to get that confidence back. The swing's looking a lot better. So do not be surprised if this offense starts picking up with Adley Rutschman. Gunnar Henderson 1 for 4. Eloy Jimenez 1 for 4. I'm telling you, I love Eloy Jimenez. Eloy Jimenez just makes me happy. I don't know how to put it. Just the vibes of Eloy Jimenez, just how happy he looks just to be on a winning team, just to be here, makes me happy. So I absolutely love that. And we will be playing, I'm saying we do have 2 songs to play. So we'll get that out of the way by the time this ends. Colton Cowser, obviously the 1 for 4, but that one was absolutely massive. It kept the inning alive. If that doesn't happen, the Orioles probably potentially lose 2-0. So I've seen a few people. Colton's probably safe if he stays up. Sliding slows you down. I agree, but the slide also just fired everyone up, so I'm not too upset. And Steve says that the first Eloy homer is going to be electric. I'm going to fall to my knees when that man finally goes yard. He's starting to put the ball in the air more, but obviously he's still grounding out a lot. So if he can get that launch angle up, Eloy's going to become he already is a big part of this team, I think, but he's going to become an even bigger part. And then 1 for 1, Jackson Holliday. Do we even need to talk about the Jackson Holliday 1 for 1 double, bases clearing, pretty much game on the line? Jackson Holliday, Hyder pushing all the right buttons. 6th inning, understanding that, hey, this is the moment. He didn't care that, like Lorax is saying, he didn't care that Jackson was 0 for his last 20. He had confidence in, hey, this kid is special. This kid has talent. We want this kid in these moments. And so it didn't matter that he was 0 for his last 20. Hyde said in the 6th inning, bases loaded, this is when I want Jackson Holliday up. And think about it, if that move, if Holliday strikes out, people are destroying Brandon Hyde right now. It becomes Brandon Hyde's the worst. How could you use Holliday, who's 0 for 20 in that situation? Holliday couldn't succeed in that. This is the tough reality of it. If that doesn't work out, if Holliday doesn't make that call, right now we're talking about how he's a genius, and we're like, Brandon Hyde hits the right buttons. If Holliday just strikes out, grounds out, whatever, everyone's talking about how Brandon Hyde wasted his one opportunity on Jackson Holliday, who's 0 for his last 20. So that's the unfortunate, brutal part of being a manager it literally is. It's the Mayo bases loaded all over again. If Mayo had hit a grand slam, a double, even a single to drive in guys, that situation's looked at completely differently. Yeah. So it's going to be, I'm telling you, it feels like over the past 2 days, something's clicked. Something in the Baltimore Orioles heads, some fire has been lit under this team, and it might be the best thing that happened to them. This team needed something. They needed something to prove to themselves. They needed something to prove to themselves that they could still do it, that they could still come back, that they were never out of a game. And they did it. Yesterday, Anthony Santander. Obviously, we keep saying it, and it's part joking, but it literally feels like that was the moment where it switched. It just, something happened. I love it. Something magic happened. You felt like that was the moment where everything started to turn. And yes, it is hilarious. For those of you who don't know about the whole Golden Tee thing, Jackson Holliday is apparently like really good at the Golden Tee golf arcade game. And in Cleveland, they had it. And he obviously had a really good series in Cleveland. He had 2 home runs that series? Or no, he had a double and a home run. But he set the course record on like 4 of the 6 courses there. And Golden Tee said that they would send Jackson a Golden Tee for the Orioles clubhouse. He was 0 for his last 20. The Golden Tee got there today, 1 for 1 since the Golden Tee. Vibes, dare I say the vibes have never been more back than they are right now. Dare I say it? It feels truly like this Oriole team. If they win tomorrow, if the Orioles win tomorrow, this stretch looks a whole lot different, because we even said going into this 7-game set against the Astros and Dodgers, me and Kevin said we'd be happy with them going 3-4. If you can win 3 games against just the Astros, and then just a single game against LA finishes that 7-game set with a winning record, you take that any day of the week. Any day of the week. Yeah, undefeated with the Golden Tee. Undefeated in the Golden Tee era. I love it. I love it. Let's go 1 up, 1 down. So everyone in the comments, hit me with your 1 up, 1 down. I feel like the 1 up, I'm going to go a little less obvious. I'm going to go, because obviously Jackson Holliday, you see, cute dog Bagel, the back corner. I'm going to say 1 up's Albert Suarez, because he just battled. Absolute. Yeah, because while I'm talking about Albert Suarez, that's a dog, because Albert Suarez was an absolute dog today as well. So this was once again one of those moments, Albert Suarez versus Framber Valdez, where you just felt like he needed to keep them in the game. First batter goes yard. Jose Altuve hits it over the left field fence. It very easily could have gotten out of hand. It very, very easily could have gotten out of hand from there. And Suarez just kept going, only giving up the 2 solo shots. So I'm going to go the obvious one. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of Cowsers as well. Love that. I would have, if it's not Jackson Holliday, I think it's Cowser for the hustle, or Suarez for keeping them in this game. My 1 down, just, I'll keep the Slater hater going. I'll keep the Slater stuff going. Yeah, Austin Slater's going to be my 1 down, 0 for 4. Yeah, you could also go Adley for your 1 up, 2 for 3, starting to get those vibes back. So yeah, my 1 down is going to be Austin Slater, just because I'm still hating, and he does really well every time I hate on him. So I think I just have to, guys. I'm not going to lie. This is actually kind of funny. I bet on Austin Slater to get a hit today. Like that, he went 0 for 4 the one time I've bet on him to get a hit. So maybe I'm the 1 down. Maybe I'm the 1 down for betting on Austin Slater. I just completely destroyed any chance of him getting a hit. So yeah, I think this is on me. I think at the end of the day, this is on me. So yeah, I'll guess my 1 down is me betting on Austin Slater, then causing him to go 0 for 4. So Gary's saying, what's the status on Mullins? I'm not sure we've heard anything. I know it's tightness, so I'm hoping. Yeah, 1 down is my bet. Yeah, no, I'm done betting on him. I learned my lesson. I need to, maybe I have to start betting on him not to get hits. And maybe that's just the vibe we have to go for. Maybe that's just what we have to do. So last thing I wanted to touch on, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter one today, but last thing I wanted to touch on, I wanted to get your guys' opinion on another phenomenal outing by the Orioles bullpen. Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you think this team can win it all with this bullpen, 1 being this bullpen is toast, throw everyone out. Where is your confidence in the Baltimore Orioles bullpen? I'm going to say mine is sitting at like a 7. If this team gets Coulomb back and Jacob Webb back, and they are fully healthy, they are picking up where they left off. I completely agree. I just saw, Coulomb coming back. That's my big one. If Coulomb comes back and is the Danny Coulomb that we know, then I'm pushing it to like an 8. Because I do believe if they have an established closer in Seranthony Dominguez, you then can match up Cano and Coulomb in that 8th inning. You know, if it's lefties or righties, you then have Perez, Jacob Webb, Birch Smith. You got guys in the lower half. Obviously, Craig Kimbrell, if he could ever continue to get his confidence up. Gregory, so it feels like this bullpen has way more depth suddenly if they get Coulomb and Jacob Webb back and healthy. I kind of like this bullpen. It all unfortunately lives and dies with Seranthony Dominguez. If Seranthony Dominguez if we still don't have a closer, then it doesn't matter what the bullpen does, because it just feels like this team, if they don't have a closer, they're done. But if Seranthony Dominguez, if he can just embrace this closer role, if he can do what he did in, I believe it was 2021, when he was like the most valuable player in the Phillies bullpen, if he can get back to that, Seranthony Dominguez can be a massive part of this Orioles team. And he could be a key part to why they will or won't go far in the playoffs. So sorry for the pressure, Seranthony, but with injuries, you are now the guy. You know, people struggled. People got injured. And I will say, we talked about this last night. Next year, Felix back, Seranthony, Yenier, Coulomb, like, suddenly next year the bullpen's going to be looking nice. I kind of love the bullpen next year. Obviously, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I kind of really like the Orioles bullpen next year, if I dare say. So, we're going through some more of the comments real fast. So it seems like I see some people still have no faith in the Orioles bullpen. That's okay. I mean, they've given you every reason to do that. So I can't be mad. But yeah. So a little bit of a shorter episode today, but I do need to play. We got to play at least one of the songs. And it's my favorite song, even though the Orioles won. It's just always a little sweeter when we can end on this. So that will do it for this edition of Kevin and Zach Reacts. A little bit of a shorter one. I was by myself today. Me and Kevin both kind of had our own things going on, so we missed each other. But you got a little Kevin action on the Ravens post-game show. If you want to check that out, that is just a little bit before. I think that was, that went live about 3 hours ago. But Orioles come back again. Dare I say it? Dare I say the O's might be fine. Maybe the Orioles are fine after all, but it all comes down to continuing to keep the momentum going. Go out there, win tomorrow. So we will be back at it tomorrow. Orioles play at 1:35, I believe. So we'll be back here around 4:30-ish. And yeah, Orioles have an opportunity to take 3 of 4 against the Houston Astros tomorrow. Jackson Holliday plays hero with a bases clearing 2 out, 3 RBI, double for the lead. Nice, Kevin. Okay, Kevin made his appearance. Yeah, so go check out that Ravens. Get those numbers up, people. Come on, let's get those numbers up. Go check out. Even if you don't have to watch it all. Just go like it, please. So that'd be cool. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us today on Kevin and Zach Reacts. The Baltimore Orioles win. Albert Suarez battles his ass off. Sir Anthony Dominguez closes it out. Oh, we are Sunday Night Baseball tomorrow. Guys, I'm done. I'm dumb. Scratch everything I just said. We'll see. I'm just not in the same world, I guess. We'll see you back tomorrow night after Sunday Night Baseball. We got the Sunday Night Baseball announcers. God damn it. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow after Sunday Night Baseball. So we'll probably be live at like 10 o'clock, 10:15. So yeah, but that'll do it for today. Guys, I think the vibes are back. I'm officially declaring the Orioles back. So here we go. Let's see if they can keep the ball rolling. But for Zach Bonder, for Kevin and Zach Reacts, hit that like and subscribe button. We go live after every Orioles and Ravens game and all breaking news in between. So that'll do it. And I will catch you guys back here, probably with Kevin, like somewhere around here next time. But we'll see you tomorrow.